All right, everybody, welcome to Patriot NightCap. This is going to be a highly appropriate spotlight on one of my patriots in the Patriot movement, and I'm very excited. We premiere every Sunday, Wednesday night, 8 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. Nino has a special right now, 99 cents at ninoscorner.tv. You can find him over there. He's been kicked off of YouTube for about a week, but he'll be back. Again, ninoscorner.tv, 99 cents. You can see some terrific interviews over there. Catch him over there for 99 cents through Christmas Eve. So I want to introduce this next guest. His name, well, not his real name. We're going to call him Freddy. He's not fully revealing himself. And this is why this show is going to be very interesting, because there are a lot of people who are unfortunately stuck in a little bubble of fear right now, and they can't really expose their true selves or speak their minds. So we're finding a lot of censorship. I got a call today about certain things that I can and cannot say. My brother got kicked off of YouTube. Freddie, you have your own challenges. You're not fully revealing yourself. That's not even really your name. So my question is, what the hell country am I living in right now? Like, we're all kind of painted in this corner, and it's really disturbing to me. But before we jump into that, let me just ask you a question. Why were you attracted to the Patriot movement? What are you enjoying about the Patriot movement? First of all, go for it.
Oh, thanks, Tresha. Thanks for the intro. I was first introduced to the whole Patriot movement from your brother, actually. I've always seen him on the Mel K show and a few other shows with Charlie Ward and that whole gang, and I follow them and I watch them at least once a day, at least watch one of their shows. So that's where I got turned on to your brother's product. And there's so many great things on there, and you don't have to go to the box stores, which is the best part of it. I'd have to say my favorite, and I actually finished my bag today. I don't know if you could see this because my background's a little messed up, but This was the vanilla coffee, delicious, and it is my favorite product on that site right now.
That's awesome. David loves the organic coffee, so that's terrific. Every Patriot seems to have their favorite non-toxic product. You know, basically we're trying to go USA. We're taking it away from the big guy, giving it to the little guy, voting with our dollars. And so I love that you called me. We jumped on, we had a terrific conversation. Then I come to find out that you are this genius cartoonist and you've been drawing since you were a kid, and you're really exposing everything that's going on right now. And if I may say, I know there's a horse in your background, and I feel like what we're experiencing right now is a lot of horse shit, quite frankly, because I'm like, we can't talk. We have to watch every word that we say now. And you have certain associations with people who you told me that are the loony left, and so you go under the alias name of F. Zymond, right? So
correct.
Tell us about your work, what you love drawing, and what you're revealing today, and how we find you. Go ahead.
Oh, excellent. Thanks again, Tresha. So just to start off, that name, it does have a little bit of history. So going back to the early 2000s, I was actually writing some screenplays. And when we did have our little conversation, I mentioned that I would show a couple of those. So what I did back then is I've written a few screenplays. This one here is Exchanging Pleasantries. Full name was Fair Zymond back then. And I used that name, and I was doing that just to put a little mystery in it. Not necessarily to hide from anybody at the time, but just to have a little mysterious. You can't tell if it's a man, woman. Nowadays, you don't know what that is now anyway, but you don't know the orientation, sexual orientation, the skin color, and what have you. So that's where basically the name came from. And I had a few other ones that I brought that I can talk about too, if you'd like. But on with
sure. Why don't you hold them up? Show us what you've.
Sure.
Because I know you've written screenplays, and what I really love are your cartoons. And you prefer Zymond or Zymond?
Either works for me. Zymond is what I've been going by. So yeah, that's fine.
Where do we find your cartoons? Because I want to add your cartoons.
Okay, so actually the cartoons that you can find under F. Zymond on pretty much any site. I originally started with Twitter, had everything on there, and then I was part of the purge right when President Trump was purged, and and thousands of others. And I had thousands of followers. I was getting retweets by some big names, well, not big celebrity names, but big names in the Patriot movement, like Santa Surfing, if you know who she is, and a few others. And it was getting out there all over the place, and that's when they pulled the plug on that. So just recently, I started a second, a backup channel on there. That's F Simon, not 1,000 people yet, but 100 or so, a little more than that. Also on Gab. Gab is another one, Cloud Hub, and I started going into Getter, and there's other smaller ones like Anon Up or other ones if you happen to be on any of those. But Getter is another story. Getter, I had a couple of thousand followers, and that's one you wouldn't think you'd get suspended or anything like that. So they did suspend my account without reason, and I set up another backup account for that one. So that one's building it now again. So if there's anybody out there that has contacts at any of those sites, and if they could find out why did F Simon get banned, and how do you get that check mark too? I don't know how that whole thing works. But anyway, yeah. So I'm on several sites with the cartoons. The way it started off was I was telling you a little bit before where I was walking into clubhouse gym type place in the beginning of this whole non-patriotic event we're going through, 2 years of it. And I was accosted at the front door of this place, and they're telling me, oh, you don't have a mask, where's your papers, all this kind of thing. And I just got fed up and walked away. And it was just burning me the whole day. I sat down at the table and I was just doodling. I came up with this picture of these angry hags as they were at the time with full masks over their faces. And I just wrote some stuff about it on there. And then I felt the relief, like this is an outlet. This is getting my frustrations out by drawing. So ever since then, I just did a couple here and there, and now I've got 600 and change of them all. And another piece of what I do with them is it's like a cartoon, so it's a drawing, and then I do some text with it, and the text has some kind of phrase of what's bothering me or a joke or whatever, and then I leave some capital letters throughout it. And if you unscramble so if you unscramble those capital letters, you're going to come up with a word or a phrase that describes the picture or the moment. And it's a fun game that people were playing along with before I got kicked off in so many places. And that's another thing I don't understand. Why do I get kicked off at these? There's nothing offensive that I could find. If anybody could find something offensive with them, let me know. But I mean, for the regular person with common sense, I don't think they're offensive.
Freddy, don't you think it's a sign of the times? Like it's what's happening right now. My brother can't talk about his perspective on some medical information. I'm told I can't say certain things. You're told you're flat out getting kicked off. I would never in my lifetime would imagine that we're seeing this today. I would never guess this, and I'm terrified for our children because I'm like, wow, if we have to step up. We have to. I created this platform because I'm like, David, we need this. There's too many fascinating stories coming through here, and this is flat out communism. This is 1950s McCarthyism, where I guess I don't know if you're put on a list. I don't really know better watch what I'm saying, but it's terrifying to me. You're getting purged. Everyone's jumping over to Telegram. Then they're jumping over to, now they got to go to Rumble or whatever. And it just goes on and on and on. And you have such genius work that I've seen. And I want to, just spotlight you because it's just so hard for me to believe. So you get this relief. Do you do your drawings at work, or do you feel like you have to hide, or do you do it at home? Like what, because I bet there's so many, I know there's so many people out there who don't speak their mind. They're terrified. So I'm wondering, like, are people getting, it's like therapeutic that they can go and do something else to speak their minds. And this is what you're doing, right? Through your work. And then you put it out there and you have your followers. And I mean, can you believe that we're living in these days?
Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, for your first point, this is complete communism, and a lot of my drawings revolve around how communist things are getting. And on the second point, I would love to be doing this as a job, and I can't do it while I'm working because I'm out during the day working. So after the workday, if I actually put some ideas in my phone as I see things that happen during the day and say, oh, I got to draw something about this. And I mean, I have 100 stories of things like that I've done. But yes, it is 1933 Germany. There's no doubt about it, especially in other places like Australia. And I've been drawing pictures of that too. And it's just scary what's going on over there. And the only reason it's not going on here is because we still have the Second Amendment. God forbid that ever gets taken away, and we'll be in the same boat as them. No. But yeah, as you mentioned Rumble and I think you mentioned BitChute, but I'm also on there. Another thing that I do with the drawings is when I get to about 50 or so, I'll make a video and I edit it. I do it in the studio here. I would have loved to show you the studio, but for some reason I can't change my background. But
but it's good because you're coming on not really revealing yourself, and because for obvious reasons. So it's kind of appropriate. You're sort of fading in and out of your background. But it's really not funny. Like, this is the sign of the times that I'm actually coming on with someone who said, Tresha, I'm happy to come on and talk about my work, but I'm not exactly gonna reveal myself. And by the way, I left the East Coast and I came to Arizona, and it's like there's the free states and then there's the tyrannical states, and man, you feel the difference the second you leave. And then I talk to my friends back East and they can't believe what's going on out here, with a lot of things. And it's just night and day, But
yep, I've been in the worst states and the best states, and I have a lot of friends from the worst states, and it's nightmares compared to what's happening in the free states. And I'm so happy to be in a free state right now, but what's going on there is kind of like what I was just talking about with Australia. I mean, not to that degree yet, but it's on its way.
It's on its way. Yeah. So what do you think we should do? Like and I know you're furious like I am, right? We were talking about that. So what do you think people should, I feel like people need to do whatever they can in their own community and step up and do something, right?
Yeah, you feel like the precipice is near and something's got to happen. I mean, I wouldn't advocate for people getting up and taking over it on their own, but something's got to happen and somebody's got to lead it. I just, at this point, don't know how it could happen. I'm hoping there's a sign somewhere and we could all join together and do it. But I feel that there is something, as a lot of, like some of the shows that your brother Melk are on, the Patriots are in control. You hear that. You hear it a lot. And I really believe it. I believe it, but I just want to see more.
I do too. And it's funny because I have my the Good Guys Win white hat peril tumbler here for my little nightcap, which is just water, by the way. But
yeah, I got my
what do you have? What are you drinking there? Are you drinking your coffee?
America first, but this is just water.
America first, absolutely. Oh my gosh. Is there anything that you want to add to our spotlight? I can tell that you're inspired and you're angry and you're expressing that through your work, and we're going to spotlight your work at the end of my nightcap. Is there anything that you would like to add? Like, are you wanting your screenplays to be read? And tell me
a little bit about
that.
Actually,
I'm a former actress, and we did a lot of rehearsing and for playwrights who were trying to debut their show. So talk to me about that a little bit.
That is something else that came up on a few of the shows that I've been watching, where a lot of people have creative backgrounds and they couldn't go anywhere because of Hollywood was a swamp for so long. Mel K brings that up all the time too. A big fan of her, so I think I said that 100 times. And she's had some guests on saying, stay creative, be creative. Now's the time to do it. Now's the time to stay creative. So I've been doing that and I love hearing that. But yes, I did. I said before I had like 7 or 8 screenplays. I don't even know anymore, but I had several published. I only found 4 of them before I went on. This one's called Anxiety Stricken, and I've gone through anxiety in my life. And this is kind of like, it's a story of what happens when you go through anxiety, but it's from a comedy point of view. And I'm not going to read what it's about, but there's a whole thing on the back. And if you just look up fair semen on anywhere.
Is there, you know what, do you want to read a paragraph or something out, or something, one of your favorite excerpts, or, I mean, by all means, go for it. I love to artists.
I could just read the last paragraph of from the cover, from the back cover. So in anxiety stricken, we're able to laugh at our disorders while bringing them out into the open. The best cure is not hiding it from others. And there's a little piece from the back. It's been so long since I've read any of them, so I don't want to give away too much because a lot of them have twists. This other one's called Remembering Olsen, which is a high school story. It actually starts off at a high school reunion. They're written as a movie, so I'm not the greatest writer in the world, but I think I'm a pretty good storyteller. So I don't have much light where I am.
You're fading out.
Oh, sorry.
Just so don't fade away.
Remember.
I think it's funny that you just read something from like Anxiety Stricken, because, you know, coming on and, you know, and talking about some of the subject matter can give anyone anxiety. I mean, Freddie, you want to hear something crazy? I have to just talk about this a little bit because it's about anxiety. I had a good friend say to me, okay, I need to go to an AA meeting, but as a patriot, I'm not going to wear, not going to wear that.
Okay.
And they're told they can't talk about so they have to wear this. They can't talk about that. And I'm like, but wait a minute. I thought AA meetings were supposed to be a free space where you talk about your anxieties and what's giving you anxiety, you know? And she's like, exactly. So it's even touching, it's even going into the
you're not even allowed to have anxiety anymore.
Yeah, it's going into the very sacred places where, you know, they're supposed to be, you know, untapped or not messed with.
Uncharted. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I interrupted you. Go ahead and
No. That's a great point. You're not even allowed to have anxiety these days.
You're not even allowed to have anxiety. We're getting on to talking about.
They give it to you, but you're not allowed to have it.
Hey, Freddie, that's a play right there, man.
Let me take some notes.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So I'll just read this paragraph here about Remembering Olsen. Remembering Olsen is a dark, not dreary, supernatural thriller that boggles the mind and stretches the imagination up until its satisfyingly stunning climax. Will Jessica be fulfilled when she finally begins remembering Olsen? I remember most of that, but I don't want to give anything away because, I mean, if anybody wants to read it. And then this one here called Exchanging Pleasantries. This is just a feel-good romance type thing. Takes place in coffee shops across the Northeast. And I wouldn't even read. I mean, if anybody wants to go look at it, it's on all the sites that sell books. They're still there, I'm pretty sure. These didn't get banned.
Tell me again, Freddie, how people can find you, because I would love to read those. So tell me exactly how to find you.
I know we're really not fans of Amazon here.
That's okay. Go ahead.
I know they're on there, and I know the publisher is Author House, and they have a site where they sell them also. And then any other ones, I think Books A Million, if they still exist, Barnes and Noble, I think they're still on all of those, but I know they're on authorhouse.com, and I know they're on Amazon. And on Amazon, the paperbacks are nice to have, but on Amazon, they have all the Kindle type ones where it's like a couple of dollars, and then you don't have to pay. You don't have that upscale paperback price that they do to you.
And your Genius cartoon work, which I have to say, I truly love it. You know what, Freddie? Can I give you one little constructive?
Yes, definitely. I've gotten those in the past too, and I want to see if it's the same one I've got.
Okay, and this is just a pacing thing. I wish that it would move a little bit slower so I would have time to really take in your work. That's it. Your work is genius. I mean, but
okay,
it just moved a little bit. Yes, just slow it down, because I really want to take it in, and sometimes it moves so quickly that I'm like, oh my God, that was amazing, but I want to see it again, and then I have to, but anyway, people can find you. Yeah, is
That
that
is a
is
great.
that legit?
That's
I mean,
that's very legit. I just didn't want to make the videos more than 5 minutes long because people might get bored. But if people like them, I'd be glad to extend them.
do that. You know, listen, do it for me. But look,
I will do
do
it
it
for
for
you. I still
yourself.
have them
Do it for
all.
yourself.
I can still edit them at any time right now before they
Okay,
steal my
so
before they
F.
steal my software.
F. Zeman on Telegram is where we can find.
Oh wait, actually not on I am on Telegram. I just don't know how to use it. I'm gonna need some help from somebody with that because I tried to set up a channel, but it won't come. But it's definitely on BitChute, Rumble. It's on YouTube. I only had one taken off of YouTube, and that's part
Okay.
10. And no reason why, but they said that one's unsuitable. Episodes 1 through 14 are okay, but 10 had to go.
Gotcha. Freddie, I honor your work as an artist, and God bless you as a patriot. Thank you for coming on. We're going to cap the nightcap with the good guys win. Everybody hold the line and keep speaking out. And you know, God bless you. Everybody look for Freddie, and I will add your hashtags. All right.
I appreciate it. So glad to have met you, and hopefully we could do this again.
Likewise. Thanks, Freddie.
The famous African-American baseball player in America.
Shut that hole in your face! Tournament. Must be taking work for a walk week!
Hospital? What is it?
It's a big building with patients, but that's not important right now.
Get off my train!
Negro at the time, picture of the Negro League going on.
Misdemeanor from hell for Merrick Garland, Nancy Pelosi, and Joe Biden.
I have a dream that one day
for the best night's sleep in the whole wide
funny about the way I talk.